Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the first day of the North American Star Team League, and I'm so happy to be here. Today we have one exciting match, two exciting teams that will be playing in this particular clan war. Just to let you guys know, before we go into the teams, the format, how it's going to work, it's going to be one-on-ones, and then it's going to be 4 one-on-ones, and we're going to decide a score. If there is a ace match, meaning they finish 2-2, then we will be going into a best of 3 series, and two people will be chosen by the other teams. They can, of course, reuse players. So it'll be really, really cool. But let's go ahead and introduce the first team. The first team will be Evil Geniuses. They'll be using the following players right now. It is Puma, the Muslim, Idra, In Control, and Huck. They will be going up against Team Empire. Team Empire is featuring Happy, BCQT, Cass, Aristeo, and Hobbit. So we're really excited to see Team Empire and Team Evil Geniuses actually met up in the Gosu Coaching Premier League. That's where they met up in the finals, and Empire delivered a huge upset. It was really, really riveting. If you haven't already, go check that out. You can find out more information at gosucoaching.com. But a really, really awesome series. Cass in that particular match, or in that particular clan war, was amazing. But, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. But before I go any further and talk about these teams, I want to introduce my co-commentator. He is none other than a FireZerg from Gosu Coaching, and he's also been a professional gamer previously. FireZerg, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Mr. Gretorp?
Pretty good. You know what? I'm just really, really excited for these two teams. What do you know about these two teams in particular? I mean, Evil Genius is one of the, I think, one of the biggest favorites in the foreign scene.
Absolutely. Having been on Complexity, Complexity and Evil Genius have a bit of a rivalry, so we've played each other a few times. They're a bunch of great guys. They're the biggest personalities as well. That can definitely be said for them in the foreigner community. Empire, I know less about, naturally, them being a European team, but obviously full of amazing players. So I'm very excited to see this unfold. Yep. And
FireZerg, I'm of course so glad that you're here. Now, people might not know you. For those people that don't, shame on you, but please go ahead and give a brief introduction to yourself and talk a little bit how you fit into the StarCraft 2 community.
Well, I'm a 19-year-old Zerg player from Canada. I go to UBC. I was in the UBC CSL team, and we won the Collegiate Star League last year. Totally owned Waterloo in the finals. But yeah, I was on Complexity for a few months. I went to MLG Columbus and Anaheim with them. Got to meet a whole bunch of great people. Mostly, though, I do coaching for gosucoaching.com, and I just watch and just be a nerd like the rest of y'all. So,
for sure, man. Well, nevertheless, I'm really excited that you're here. Obviously, you are you were on Complexity at the I think the inception of their StarCraft 2 division, and it'll be really nice with your competitive insight and especially your Zerg insight. But we have our first match coming up. It will be Empire Happy against Evil Geniuses Puma. The map will be Odyssey, which is a community-made map. I want to actually talk to you about that because we've seen community-made maps really rise up as of late, both in GSL, NASL, IPL. We've seen it all over the place. But let's go ahead and introduce the players first. In the top left-hand corner as the yellow Terran, we have Empire Happy. In the bottom right-hand corner as the red Terran, we have Evil Geniuses Puma. So it will be a TVT. But FireZerg, what are your thoughts particularly on, you know, community-made maps?
Well, a lot of people were talking about Blizzard kind of going the whole 8.5 yards with regards to their changes to the map pool on ladder. Getting rid of close positions, doing all sorts of great things, but not really getting new maps in there. Still being stubborn and making their own maps, which most people tend to feel are kind of garbage on average. So it's great to see community maps getting some love. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, here's the thing. In StarCraft Brood War, we had a lot of times where we would hate maps. I remember there was a map that was made that it was called Katrina, and it was absolutely garbage for Terran. you know, we just couldn't find a way to kill Protoss on that map. Terran vs. Zerg was a little bit weird. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, but Terran vs. Protoss was impossible. Carriers, LOL, were like super imbalanced. And then, you know, gameplay just shaped up and changed dramatically. It was revolutionary, actually. I think that's where Blizzard wants to go. But, you know, it's still debatable, in my opinion, whether or not it actually has the flexibility like StarCraft 1 had. I think a lot of pros are in the mindset that StarCraft 2 just doesn't have the flexibility for the diversity of units. But, you know, I'm not sure about that. Any thoughts about that, FireZerg?
Well, I don't know. I've recently it kind of hit me that Wings of Liberty never going to have an established metagame. It's never really going to settle. Neither is Heart of the Swarm. We're not really going to see anything that's going to be comparable to StarCraft 1 until Legacy of the Void. And I don't mean comparable in terms of skill or any of those things, just in terms of how much we really understand and know about the game. So I would say too early to call that one.
Gotcha. Well, we definitely see a pretty big divergence in builds right here. E.g. Puma going for the Reaper, most likely expand.
Yeah.
Normally there's two different variations from this. It's a Reaper and you take a lot of barracks directly after this, or you can go a delayed factory, that kind of tech. But normally we don't see the delayed factory just because it's nerfed. You're nerfing yourself by going this Reaper. It's 50 gas. And the tech lab is 25 gas, of course, so you're starting 75 gas behind if your opponent goes his own factory, which that is exactly what we see Happy doing.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm just looking at the middle of this map right now. I know there's stuff going on with this Reaper here, but I'm really excited to see the mid and late game here, because this is just a playground for Terrans in TVT. There's just so much interesting terrain to maneuver around. I just can't wait to see tanks just flooding around this map. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what?
You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. I think there's a lot of diversity for going mech and bio on this map. That's what's really cool. It's like not super... I can't say definitively it is a mech map, but I can say definitively it is a bio map. You know, it's just right in the middle there and allows the players to do whatever they want. I think it's a really cool, you know, feature of Odyssey, and hopefully we get some really good TVTs on this, because I think it has the capabilities of doing that. I actually talked about this in the NASTL, and for those of you that, or the qualifiers rather, and for those of you that missed any of it, you can check out our YouTube account, NA Star League, and that has actually every single VOD of the qualifiers. But I was talking about it over there, and I was saying, you know, there's no real huge position to take that'll give you like the super advantage. A map like the Old Lost Temple, if you took your opponent's Xel'Naga Tower, you basically won, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, to a certain degree.
This map doesn't really have that, so you can have small little pockets of units always going around all the place and just being a super huge nuisance. And I think that's going to be one of the most important things. Mobility will really speak on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of got that rotational symmetry to it, like a map. Oh boy, I don't want to reference Brood War here. I can't think of can't think of
like
too many.
Xel'Naga Caverns.
Yeah, like Xel'Naga Caverns. Okay, so I'm a total newbie in this matchup. Maybe you can tell me what's going on with these build orders.
Sure. Well, we have a bio kind of fast expansion from Puma and just a regular tech expansion from Happy. Happy obviously has the big tech in terms of medevacs, things like that. But he has no chance at actually taking map control. He has to be very careful with this army, because already there is combat shields up for Puma. And once combat shield hits, that gives your units a huge boost in just their ability to engage. Right here, he does have to back up, however, just because obviously the two siege tanks are very well positioned. But if he's caught in the open, these Marines can do an immense amount of damage. I don't think they could fight straight up with this, but at the same token, I mean, we can see Stim is almost finishing. Once that Stim hits, Stim and combat shields against any force in this early game stage is deadly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little confused here. We see Puma floating 400 gas. He has been for the last half a minute. It was at 300 around 8 minutes, actually. Why is he doing this? Is there a reason for this? Is this a mistake?
Normally, at this time, there's going to be a huge influx of a lot of different upgrades. I do think that like you always get 2 gas in this early game stage, just to make sure that you can get your stim and combat shields really fast. And then afterwards, you just kind of settle down a little bit. You do rise up in gas, but then it once your +1 armor has to be upgraded and your medevacs have to be purchased, then your gas is spent very easily off of 2 gas. And look at this, a little bit of siege coming up onto Puma. Really nice tank positioning, and the Marines are going to be dropped, but they have no upgrades on them, so they have to be very careful. There's the big stim by Puma. Will be enough. Marines coming in for the bottom, flanking the siege tanks, and all the Marines and the medevac is going to be taken out on the top. Puma is going to clean up all of Happy's force. A really nice engagement, and that's going to put him way ahead in this matchup.
Yeah, that reminds me of what Puma does in so well in TVP as well, just splitting up bioforces and going in for that kind of flank. I really enjoy seeing that kind of stuff happen.
Yep, and you know, Puma was just able to mass out his opponent, and that's what I was talking about. Happy really doesn't have any capacity to take map control, just because the sheer power of the early command center with basically this mass barracks for so long. It has no way at keeping up in production. Well, Happy has no way in keeping up in production. So attacking, it's like not only are you doing a build that isn't leaning towards mass units, you're doing a build going across map and then giving your opponent maybe an extra round or 2 rounds or 3 rounds even, because it is Marines. They pop out pretty fast. You're giving them so many more units, and that's why we had that very easy engagement for Puma.
Yeah, I don't know how much these players have had, or how much practice these players have had on these maps. That might factor in here. And we see Puma taking his 3rd, and this is always really interesting to me when players, especially in matchups I don't really understand, choose to take the third basis. And we see he's had this SCV here for a really long time. Looks like it's gonna get picked off. Oh no, it lives.
Yeah. Oh no, it does go down finally. But you know, that Marine just checking. This is the correct thing to do, I think. Get the command center and place it down at the 3rd in the bottom middle. We can see that Happy is actually making his own command center. He doesn't want to lag behind too far. But, you know, Puma has complete map control with the dominating mobile army. He should go ahead and do stuff like this. He's forcing his opponent back. You can see Marines and turrets being made. Whereas in terms of static defense, you have Marines for Puma as well, but they're a little bit more expendable, but no turrets. So all of that money can be concentrated more on upgrades, more on things that'll help out these Marines and Marauders be even more mobile, and will get them even farther ahead. So I like what Puma is doing. He's just continuing and playing this pretty standard and correct, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So, safe to say, advantage to Puma. Definitely got that advantage after Happy's early attack. Hasn't really let go of it.
Yes,
Right, cool.
I have to 100% agree with that. It's not huge, don't get me wrong, because Happy is still in the game by all means.
Oh, we see a drop happening. Bottom center.
Yep, no stim yet. There Puma goes ahead and stim. I think, yes, he is at 1-1, where Happy is only at 0-0. That's why we had such a decisive battle in that. Puma is going to siege up right here and run into all of Happy's units. Happy's going to siege up as well, but Puma gets a split a lot earlier. More siege tanks going in favor of Happy, and he's going to be able to clean up, holy crap, every single one of those Marines. That's the power of those siege tanks. That's why you tech so early. Looks like those 2 siege tanks are still firing away. Oh my god, Puma! It feels like one Marine could kill both of these if it just plopped right in the middle. Look at that. Puma able to escape by the skin of his teeth with those siege tanks, and that puts Happy even farther behind, because all of his investment went to the siege tank count. And when you lose all those siege tanks, that's where it becomes a big problem.
Yeah, and we even saw Happy have to build his 3rd orbital at his natural, whereas Puma with the more mobile army able to put his down his 3rd.
Precisely, and now finally Happy able to just properly defend against everything, but there's just a huge queue of units walking its way over towards that 3rd, and he of course wants to deny the 3rd, but he has so many options at this point. He can go for the main and drop in there, he can go for the 3rd, go for the natural. There's so many points where Happy has to defend against, and he doesn't have a lot of supply. This is the perfect time for harass to actually happen by Puma because of the big trade. After big trades, you always want to be harassing, because it means less units to cover a lot of area.
Absolutely. This map, however, I don't think lends itself to harassing. We see that typical triangle formation, which reminds me of a map like TDA, or Taldar Malter, I should say, where you've got one base kind of tucked in behind the two, and you can see how this allows you to defend drops quite easily with just a few well-placed turrets, which we see Happy has.
Sure. And obviously Happy, I mean, look at that. You're covering all the way in the bottom and middle. You only can really drop from this main area, so I guess this one defensive positioning is pretty good by Happy. He can just solidify this area and go to 200-200. But we'll see. I mean, Puma, he looks like he's on the move, man. He's already gearing up for another drop. You have spotters all around the map. It looks like the pathing of this one medevac is going directly across this one Marine in the top middle position. So hopefully Happy will be able to spot that out. 2-2 being researched for Puma. He is slightly ahead of his opponent, who's only going 2-0, it looks like. Or 2-1, rather. Not getting that armor upgrade.
Yeah, and Puma even ahead, I think, in the tank up. Yeah, definitely in the tank upgrade, the +1. How important is that in this matchup? +1, +2.
It's really important. It means that okay, so siege tanks they normally deal 50 damage against. Go ahead and look at this. 50 damage against armored. If you get the +1, I do believe it goes up to 55. That means you can 3-shot at an opposing tank instead of 4-shotting it. So it's quite considerable.
Wow. Yeah, and here we see top center, a drop failed by Puma. And again, I'm talking about that that triangle formation of the bases here. One missile turret able to shut that down. A couple Vikings coming in, going to clean that up. No problem at all. And the supplies have equalized for all intents and purposes.
I mean, the one advantage is going to definitely go towards the upgrades. Puma's just going to try to poke in here. Gets shot a little bit. But you know what? It is defensive on 3 base. Once you take the 4th base, you have to take a much, much farther opening, which is going to be that center. One thing I want to note is Happy's positioning with all these Marines, exquisite.
Yeah, I love that.
Exquisite. I mean, he's covering every single expansion, making sure that Puma isn't taking and overstepping his boundaries. And that is exactly what you want to do when you are, you know, sort of behind. You don't want to, or even neutral. You want to do it all the time, rather. You want to make sure that your opponent isn't taking these expansions that you don't know about, because that could just spell so much trouble for you.
Absolutely. As a Zerg player, I love to see that. So, you know, you'd always want to have the Overlord there, the Zergling there, even if you've got Burrow.
And Puma starting to lose a little bit of position. Now center control is being contested. You can see the Marines are moving it forward. Oh my god. That is really, really risky for Puma to be doing. Pushing forward all of his Marines. He could have easily lost everything. But a little engagement in the bottom left-hand corner. Marines are going to sprint across. Just start attacking this one SCV. In the meantime, Puma trying to just deny, I think, this one Xel'Naga tower. He does have, as we said, the superior upgrades. 3-3 on the way, almost halfway done.
Yeah, one thing that is actually worrying me a bit about Puma is look at his factories. We've got 4 tanks queued up in this one, 3 tanks queued up in this one, and only 2 factories total. Whereas we look at Happy, he's got 1 queued up here, 1 queued up here, 1 queued up here, and 3 factories. So his tank production already has more tanks. Is going to continue to control the board or control the map with these tanks.
And, you know, board control is probably one of the most important concepts in any strategy game you play. Checkers, chess, I don't care what it is. You know, board control is so important. And look at that. A little mule is going to be dropped just to deny or try to back up these siege tanks. Of course, he's trying to do friendly fire, so Empire Happy scans, or if he has vision, he goes ahead and just drops a mule, and then hopefully his opponent starts attacking him.
That's cute. I'm getting more and more worried for Puma, though, because especially as we not approach max, but we are max and have been for a while, not adding those production facilities will really hurt you.
Well, more importantly, he's not actually expanding. We can see Empire Happy actually taking a faster 4th than his opponent. 4th and 5th command center is going down for Puma right now, but it's a reaction to his opponents. And look at that. 2 more command centers are going to plop down for Empire Happy. I like where he's at, because if you get to a situation where you have so many orbital command centers, you don't even need SCVs anymore. What have you just done? You sacrifice your SCVs. Now all of a sudden you have an extra tank over your opponent. You have extra 2 tanks over your opponent. Things like that. It's just so effective. And hopefully we do see that later on. Empire Happy going to engage at the bottom left-hand corner. but nothing too crazy. I really like, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the center is gridlocked. Oh my god, Puma trying to surge forward, but there's so many siege tanks over here. The Marines will bust through, but in the meantime, the bottom left-hand corner witnesses the Marines from Empire Happy denying these two expansions. There is a single tank over here blasting away at some of these Marines. It's going to go down, and now the third is under attack. Happy taking a really big lead in this, and now going to be denying the third base. Oh my goodness. Happy taking a huge advantage.
In the meantime, we see a drop in the top right, but there's a planetary fortress there, and that's going to shut this down completely. Puma's going to try and expand here behind it, but I don't know how much success he's going to have with that venture.
Wow, and Puma just absolutely getting outplayed in this game. It just looks like he doesn't know what to do. Oh my god, the medevacs are going to get picked up. Medevacs. But you know, one thing Puma has done is he's moved up a little bit in position. He's gotten in range. I don't know why he backed up right there. I don't think that's correct. He shouldn't have backed up. He worked so hard to get this position, even though it's just like a couple of hexes forward. He worked so hard to get that. Now look at this. Empire Happy reforming a wall, or maybe a tank line, a siege line, and now he's going to be able to just again take map control and have no worries. These medevacs trying to get out for dear life. They can't in that bottom middle. And look at that. Puma's going to try to expand to this mid right-hand position. Keep in mind that is the orbital command from the main. So Puma not looking too good in this game number 1 between EG and Empire. Right now, again, Puma's trying to aggress up just to deny that Zelnaga tower. He does have a little bit of map control over his opponent, but he's probably thinking in his head, what do I do with it? I would love if he actually came to this mid left-hand corner and started sieging on the actual main. I think that would be probably his best bet because he has no huge options, in my opinion. Happy looks like he's moving on the weakest part of this tank line, which is just that single siege tank. He's just edging that out ever so slightly.
And these two Vikings for Puma are huge right now. There's just the 2 versus the 1, and these are giving him so much control in the middle.
Big doom drop. Sorry about that. Big doom drop with 32 Marines inside. The one turret might actually take out one of the medevacs. Yes, it does. So there goes 10 supply immediately. Puma's going to rush back with all of his own Marines. The Marines do drop. They're going to target down some supply depots. Get the double supply depot very, very fast. And now finally Puma's forces are going to be pushing forward. But look at how fast Puma actually loses all of his Marines. Oh my gosh. The spread was really good. But finally, Puma will clean that up. A really nice job by Happy. You can see the supplies are 180 to 150 just about. And that's... Go ahead.
Sorry, no, that's absolutely desperate news for Puma because, especially with these 4 factories to just the 2 not producing at that, the tank count is going to get out of control for Happy.
And right now, I feel like Puma's in a position where all he can really do is like tech switch huge to something like battlecruisers, man. I don't think he can keep going. Even with battlecruisers, you don't have a lot of economy to work with. He's sitting right now on just about 1.5 base. This second base that's mining isn't really mining optimally. So he's not sitting on a great economy. 81 harvesters to 46. Holy crap. So their army size is probably pretty even. Look at that. Yeah, their army size is very even. Nice little mule drop over here. And again, firing upon his own units. He has to be careful because obviously the splash damage is doing a ton of work.
Yeah, I almost feel that those 81 workers for Happy might be part of what's keeping Puma in this game. If he was able to free up that supply. He's also got these extra 2 orbitals. He's been very diligent about spending the energy from them. I think that's the income he needs and no more. You can see he's floating a lot of resources.
I have to agree, but he's using that energy from mules at this point from the orbital command centers, and he consistently just keeps dropping on these siege tanks, trying to kill as many as possible for basically nothing. I mean, it's not 270 minerals anymore. It's like just mana, you know? You have an excess of minerals. Look at that. 4,000 minerals.
Yeah, as cute as that is, free up your supply, build more tanks. On the other hand, though, he's getting that +3, and we see no +3 even started from Puma. So not only is Happy going to have more tanks, have the ability to produce more tanks more quickly, but he's also going to have stronger tanks.
Units lost tab showing just about 2,000 more resources lost for Puma than Happy. So throughout all this, Puma is able to stay pretty even so far, but look at the mineral and gas count. Excuse me. I think what Happy is trying to do is just start to exchange and work on his center. I think he has to like circumvent the center.
Yeah, 2 more armories going down for Puma. It seems like he's upgrading the other one. I guess he's going all out with those upgrades. Now you've been in this position before, presumably. What do you do, Gretorp?
Well, when it's in gridlock, I know a lot of my opponent's units are just are just queued up in siege tanks. They can't really do much. So what I try to do is have some sort of engagement and start to slowly trade my SCVs at the same time. And if I can do that, I will be in a position where I can take my my battle cruisers or Banshee switch and then just start breaking that tank line a lot easier. And then my opponent is the one that has to like go into like something like Thors. And Thors, they're okay, but they're not too cost efficient when I already have battle cruisers and siege tanks.
Oh, and a bit of an impatient move here from Happy down in the bottom left. And this is going to allow Puma to really take that 5th base he's been so desperately needing this game.
Precisely. And, you know, Puma keeps just mimicking exactly where his opponent goes. That's exactly what you want to have happen. Again, this feels like a Sugar's Plateau kind of stakeout, you know? Like, neither player can really do anything. They both have their own Zelnaga tower. That's why we already see Puma. He is, let's see, upgrading weapons level 1 and, or excuse me, Terran ship weapons level 1 and ship plating level 1 for the air. So he has so many Vikings as it is. He's going to be switching over to either Banshees or to battle cruisers. Already we see 3 starports on the way out for Empire Happy. So he is indeed switching up. He might be going something like Banshees or battle cruisers.
Oh boy. Now, I gotta ask this, just as, you know, as a person who watches a lot of games, you always want to see nukes. How come we haven't seen any nukes yet this game?
I think actually nukes would be awesome. I think they're just not, they're not explored as much, you know? But I think, especially on a map like this, nukes would probably be the best possible situation just to get more position on your opponents, you know? You nuke, force them to unsiege, and you could either choose to, you know, cancel the nuke or continue on with the nuke. It's a really, really cool thing to always gain position. I think we should have seen it in StarCraft 1. We saw it here and there, but StarCraft 2, that's definitely a big possibility since nuke has no relationship to your supply. And whoa, what do we see here? Hunter Seeker Missile, Corvid Reactor. I've never actually cared to actually remember that name, but Corvid Reactor, that is the Raven Energy and Durable Materials. We're getting all the upgrades.
Oh yeah,
for
it's
Ravens
one of those games.
Sweet merciful crap, man.
And there goes Happy, clearing his supply out of SCVs finally, but at this point he doesn't have the bankroll to do that. He's got 1,500 minerals. Earlier when he had maybe 4 or 5K, would have maybe, you know, might have been the time to do that.
It's still okay. He has the
good.
orbital command centers to always produce minerals for him. So I don't really hate that. I think actually that's still pretty standard. It's decent. I don't mind that whatsoever. But at this point, I mean, both these players are going to Sega mode. I like the choice of where Happy is going with the Ravens. I think that's much, much more intelligent. And he's going to continue just dropping mules on his opponent, messing up these siege tanks. And look at that, even more mules going down. And
those mules, they're so cute.
Dude, they're so BM. These are not manor mules. These are bad manor mules.
Extremely bad manor.
But we don't see any manor mules coming down from Puma, surprisingly. I know he's kind of stressed for minerals. Well, he was, but I would expect him to do that sometime soon. Units lost tab. Now the gap is furthered. Just looks like 3,500 advantage, mineral and resource advantage for Empire Happy over Puma, Evil Genius's Puma. So we'll see what comes of this.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like crazy, right?
This is one of those games, man.
Exactly, man. It's It's one of those games. Ravens are just building energy. Now, look at that. Ghosts are actually being created. Of course, ghosts counter the Ravens, and then you have to get the fusion core, of course. 4 more Ravens under production. It looks like 3 more now, but there were 4 more initially. Unit tab showing 4 Ravens out in the field, plus the 3 Ravens in production. We have 7 Ravens that are going to be out in the field pretty soon. We still have a pretty huge harvester count. 42 to 53, actually slimmed down a little bit, but especially for Puma, I don't think you need that harvester count anymore. You could start sending them in, just because harvesters right now are opportunity cost for units. You want more units, especially battle cruisers, things like that. Get their energy going and be all fine and dandy. Look at that! Puma's listening to me. He's getting nukes.
Yeah. Finally, we see those nukes starting up. Now, while there's really
no action going on?
Yeah, not a heck of a lot going on. I'd like to just briefly talk about... Oh, wait a second. Now there's something going on.
Nuclear launch detected, man. Empire happy.
Launch
Oh my god, he doesn't know what's coming. And the nuke's gonna land. Doesn't kill nearly as much as I thought. But still a nice little trade for him. 100 minerals, 100 gas for all those siege tanks and stuff. Not too bad. Now pushing on the right-hand position. There's only 4 siege tanks over here. The Marines are going to sprint forward, and they're the ones actually soaking up all the damage, while the 4 tanks behind are actually killing them so fast. Now sieging up. But here's the big push on the left-hand side. A lot of Ravens are over here, and oh, here we go. Might see Hunter-Seeker missiles at this point. Yes, we do. The Ravens have... Oh my god, all the Vikings actually disintegrate. Really nice job done by Empire Happy. I think that was a lot more efficient for him. Battle cruisers underway for Puma at this time, but Happy still going to keep going with the Ravens. Wow.
Yeah, this is so cute. These guys. We got both of the 5th bases under siege, most likely going to be taken out. Where does this put us in terms of the state of this game? Who benefits from this?
Well, I think right now both of them are pretty equal, honestly. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the resource loss tab, it's right now sitting at 3,000 actually. Oh, actually, it's...
Oh, wow. Look at that. Do you see the defensive nuke bottom left? So Puma keeps his 5th.
Wow.
And Happy loses his. Wow.
You know what? It just swung in Puma's favor. Right now, Puma is ahead by 3,000, man. Puma's doing really, really well. I hope I didn't read that wrong before. But apparently, right now it's advantage for Puma just because he has more like he can play that attrition type of style.
How big are these Ravens going to be in this huge pack of Vikings? We see the switch to battle cruisers. There's 3 on the field at the moment.
You know what? Honestly, I don't have a lot of experience with all my playing and casting. I don't have a lot of experience in seeing this endgame Terran versus Terran, so I don't know how the Ravens actually stack up fully, but I know they're really, really good. They just have to be careful because 1 EMP can just end the Ravens' momentum completely, man.
Yeah, and especially with all this gas. I hate to criticize a player like EG Puma, but his gas has he's just been banking it the whole game. It was at about 300 at 8 minutes and hasn't been below that at all since. 2K right now, I'd love to see like 30 ghosts. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'd like to see it though.
I don't think 30 ghosts would be the best, but the Hunter-Seeker missile is actually doing a great job. Unit loss tab just evening up now, so this is a super, super close game. Right now, though, it's... Oh, nice Manor Mule! Oh, the siege tank isn't actually firing.
Yeah, those Marines just kill them too quickly.
Yep, but we're going to see a Hunter-Seeker missile kill 2 siege tanks pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and go into this. It looks like, yeah, no battle cruisers coming out from Empire Happy. He's just sticking on mass Ravens, man.
You've got to think that Ravens, especially with PDD, plus Viking support, really beat the crap out of battle cruisers.
Yeah, I agree to that. But again, I mean, it's really risky because, as I said, 1 EMP could spell disaster for every single Raven. And then all of a sudden it's, what do you have? I have battle cruisers Vikings against Ravens, which are completely useless because they got EMP'd, and Vikings. And remember, you can EMP the PDDs as well.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can EMP the PDDs as well. So this is all the stuff that you have to take in mind. Ravens are really good, but normally you don't get this type of play.
Oh, there's another seeker missile. Oh, look at that spread. Just taking out the 2 Marines.
2 Marines, yeah, not bad. But now finally Empire Happy is able to take back his expansion in mid-right-hand position.
Yeah.
But the center is completely barren. He has a ton. You know what? They're flipped. Empire Happy has so many minerals but no gas, and Puma has so much gas but no minerals.
Yeah, there needs to be a negotiate button here. We could just maybe trade some minerals for some gas. I don't know.
And look at that. Both of them are in like basically completely even resource count, resource loss count. Like,
yeah,
they're just like 300 behind, I think, each other. Well, at that time.
Oh, a little bit of a move here from Happy. Taking out the tanks. Does he have an answer for the planetary, though? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. He's going to lose all this stuff now. Happy is going to lose his 2 siege tanks and all these Marines in the corner over here.
Oh, seeker missiles on the tanks.
Uh-oh.
3 takes him out.
Oh! Wow, every single Viking gets destroyed.
Oh.
Those Hunter-Seeker missiles doing amazing. I think there was an EMP on those particular Ravens. Auto turrets going down. They do have buffed armor. 3 armor. Not too bad. And they damage for 8. 7 range.
I've never seen auto turrets take out a ghost before. That's a first for me. Oh, nuclear launch detected. Top right.
It's going to be scanned though.
Yeah.
Marines will take it out in time. But look at this, Puma's just advancing so fast. His massed ground army is just too much. The Ravens just require way too much time. Can they get more Hunter-Seeker missiles off?
Yeah,
he
seeker
needs
missiles.
them right now desperately. Oh, and he gets on the tank! Oh. Nice. Nice Hunter-Seeker missiles, but still Happy's losing so much at this point. Puma is advancing over into the natural, clearing out a lot of the production facilities of Happy. Happy isn't even sieging up. He needs to do that just to stop any more deaths on the ramp and stuff. And we might see additional. Let me go ahead and see if he has energy for it. Yeah, he has energy for more Hunter-Seeker missiles. So I'm not sure why he's not using it. We'll see. There we go. 2 goes down. We'll see more, of course. In the meantime, those Marines and the single battle cruiser is going to just clean up this 3rd area. But those siege tanks are just getting blasted with auto turrets and Hunter-Seeker missiles. So really, really nice, efficient way to actually clear up this huge mass. But look at that. Additional Marines, more siege tanks, moving on up, stopping any more production from getting out here. This is just... Dude, I've never seen a game like this, FireZerg.
Yeah, I don't know what to say at all. I feel, though, I can't help but feel that watching this was Happy's game to lose at many points in time.
Well, Puma had the advantage in the early game stage, I think.
Oh, absolutely. But I wish wish you were in a replay here. I could go back to it. There are definitely points in the mid game where you had Happy securing his 5th. Puma not able to. The board just looked so thin for Puma, and Happy just getting a little too cute there with those Manor Mules and the mass Ravens.
I don't mind the Manor Mules as much. The Ravens, I don't know if that was the right decision. Actually, I'm going to say I don't like the decision personally. It's good, but, you know, when the mobility goes up, especially with the battle cruisers and stuff, it becomes a problem. I would love the Ravens just like 3 or 4, but here we go, a big push out. The Marines aren't actually going to be split just yet, and it's giving a lot of strength to those siege tanks. Siege tanks are wiping out a ton of units before they actually go down. Units lost tab, let's go ahead and check that out. Considerably high, actually only, take that back, only like, how much is that? It's like 1,800 more? Now it's 1,700 more, and now it's 1,800 more. 1,800 more, or more resources lost for Empire Happy over EG Puma. So both these players, I mean, are on their last breath. Puma is mining out all the way in the mid left-hand position.
Yeah, that top right is the only thing with minerals, and right now it's got the shadow of a red orbital. Or is that a planet? No, yeah, it's an orbital. And that's going to be interesting to see if Puma is able to secure that. He's got these 3 Marines cleaning up top center. And Happy moving in. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me go ahead and say this, that Happy actually has the better army at this point. With those Ravens and those Vikings, I mean, we can look that Happy isn't actually mining at all, but it's 139 supply to 101 advantage for Happy. Income tab is showing 0 harvesters on the field for Happy. So this is all army. 139 supply in army, 32 harvesters for Puma. So Puma only has, let's go ahead and check it, 139 to 78. That's quite considerable for Happy. Happy might be in a good position to win this game, actually. Which I don't know what to say about that. This is just like an absolutely insane game. He needs to deny this this expansion stuff for sure. Can he do it though? That's a big question.
Yeah, I feel like I was calling this game for Puma just 5 minutes ago, and I might have just been exposing my ignorance in the matchup in doing so.
Wow. Did you see those?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Talk about getting just crapped on. I think just throwing down auto turrets would have been better than actually doing all those mules, but that's okay. Puma's going to move directly across to the mid left-hand position. A single siege tank is actually caught out. Unfortunate, but look at it, just how many units there are. And maybe those Ravens were correct after all, man.
I want to say, again, this is Happy's game to lose, but having been so like outrageously wrong already, I'm not gonna
well, right now,
say anything.
All that should be made I think are ghosts. Ghosts should be like the main focus. And just EMP the crap out of your opponent, and then just when you can snipe stuff and go from there. But he's gonna get like perma hunter seeker missiled if he keeps this up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think anybody on stream right now knows either. It's like, what the heck is going on right now? Puma's still going to be mining way long distance from this mid right-hand position with some mules.
These 2 mules, man.
Yeah, man. Men are mules.
That is...
My God, man. And you know what?
That's horrible. Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on real quick. So right now, Happy at least wins, or at least draws, because he has dominating air control. And what he can do is just take his Vikings and his Ravens, put it to the top right-hand corner, and then put some buildings there, and his opponent can't actually contest that, right?
Absolutely.
So he at least has a draw right now, if he actually understands that. But it looks like, I mean,
I think he's got to win at this point. I think he's got this game.
Yeah, that's why he's going for this base trade, I think. He's like, he just realizes, I can't keep doing this. I need to just go and force the attack right now. Force my opponent to actually engage rather than us just skirting around all over the place. But Happy should know, I don't need to engage on this. I can just float my stuff all the way over. You have no way to deal with this air. And I can put down, what do they call it? Hunter-Seeker missiles. And keep your army trapped inside it. I think that's exactly what we're going to see, man.
Yeah, you know, huge kudos to both of these players. I feel exhausted just watching this game. I can't imagine what it would be like to have played an hour of this.
Yeah. Oh, and there goes the last siege tank. Puma, he's not looking good, man. I think he's definitely dead, and Happy's gonna clean up. He can just sit here forever. Now Puma can get away and slow drop all the way over, but I'm sure that that Happy will see in time and take advantage of just the armies being split across. But here's going to be the big engagement, and we're gonna see a barrage of Hunter-Seeker missiles pretty soon.
Expect GG any moment. Oh, even got the starports. They want in on the action. Maybe they're going to squish some Marines.
Yep, and here we go. The barrage of Hunter-Seeker missile. Nope. Not going to be anything. That's going to be it. Puma.
GG!
Gonna be dead. 25 supply.
Yeah.
He's long distance mining with SEVs. It looks like 11 out of that 25 supply are actual units. Let's go to the units tab. 14 Marines. Not gonna be enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure these Ravens, there's more Ravens than there are Marines. That's not a great
This
position.
embodies the never give up.
Congratulations to Happy. Oh my god, Empire gonna go up 1-0. What a crazy match. Happy had a big disadvantage in the beginning stage, in my opinion. It really spoke to me that with losing those tanks and the Marines, you know, with that sieging that he tried to do on Puma, you allow your opponent to get a free third, and they can take it whenever they want, even maybe a fourth at that position, but definitely a free third. That's 100%. Or he can go into any, you know, crazy text. But what Puma did, he got the third. He was not able to gain enough map control. You saw him fighting on his opponent's side of the map for a little bit. He had those 2 siege tanks and a lot of Marines to a lot of siege tanks and a few Marines. And it was good trades over there, but he didn't take advantage of, you know, the minimum amount of units that existed on the field. You need to go ahead, try to reclaim that map position, and then take out that third. Puma didn't do that. I can understand where he's coming from as well. He's scared of a lot of drops, things like that, because his opponent has a very wide range of builds that he could be doing. Obviously, he didn't really know that the third was being taken right then and there. And that led to just a very static game. Obviously, it was a really long, drawn out, but
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to go into all that analysis because it would take me probably 10 years. But that being said, do you have any last words on that match?
Oh yeah, you're making me feel like a big idiot for saying that was Happy's game to lose. I feel like I got amnesia because it was such a long game, but
yeah.
Absolutely, the early game, all Puma. After that big attack.
Exactly.
And so Puma's game to lose, Happy's game to lose. It was that game was all over the
It was
place.
a game to lose and win, something like that. But we're going to go into our next match in a little bit. It is Empire versus Evil Genius. Everybody stay tuned. Empire is up 1-0. We'll be back.